Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $999. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond, only with Smart Postpaid.
Here's a warm hello from Eastern Communications. We're here to present a refreshing point of view that when it comes to delivering business communication solutions, it's time to bring back the human connection because it's just as important as the technology. Eastern Communications is business made personal. It means getting intimate with our clients' needs so we can provide thoughtful solutions to help them achieve their goals. That's why we are madaling kausap, may malasakit. We are maalam at maaasahan. We are Eastern Communications.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PINOYLIGA Collegiate Cup Season 3. My name is Roy Sacot, and together with me for the very first time is Coach Russell Raipon. Coach, good afternoon to you.
Great to be working with you.
Yes, first time meeting together, and we have a great ball game for you in store to us. We have a doubleheader Wednesday afternoon for everyone. Our first game is going to be in our group edge, the UE Red Warriors versus the DC Blue Dragons. That is our match at hand for today, as we will be seeing two teams going battle it out here in our group edge division, and the game after that will be in our group prime, the Ateneo Blue Eagles versus the Guangming College Flying Dragons. And so far these two teams are doing good so far. UE Red Warriors are now 1-3 in the entire competition. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the DC Blue Dragons, they are now 2-3. So two teams are now in a losing skid. Coach Russell.
Well, you know, both teams, they're in a very tight group, so anytime they can squeeze out a win, and they're playing against good competition, trying to test themselves and test these lineups. It's good for the coaching staff to evaluate.
Yes, and as you can see, that is our game schedule. Again, first game, it's the UE versus the Diliman College, and our next game, it's Guangming College versus the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Now, let's talk about the Diliman College in their previous games. They lost in their previous game against the University of Perpetual Health System Delta Altas just by 2 points.
They have two reliable guys that can get a shot on a short clock. Temporco and
Salimon Cone.
Yeah, Salimon Cone. They're definitely players you have to game plan against if you're UE.
Yes, and let's not forget again, they lost just by 2 points that time to the Altas, and Ross Taporco, like what you said, Coach Russell, he scored 17 points. However, he only shot 35% from the field. He shot 4 out of 11 from three-point territory, although he grabbed 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Meanwhile, their center, Salimon Cone, he scored 12 points, 8 rebounds. However, he got 3 turnovers and was in the foul trouble as he was able to get 4 fouls. So let's see if what adjustments is he going to be doing against their counterpart, the UE Red Warriors. Now let's talk about the previous performance of the Red Warriors, who was playing in the UAAP. Now, as you will see on your screen right now, the University of the East, in their previous game, they lost against the All-Fu Phoenix, 58-51, and they have Precious Momoe scored 8 points, 3 out of 10 from the field, only shot 30%, although he grabbed 11 rebounds and 5 huge blocks. Also, let's not forget about Ethan Galang, Jack Cruz Dumont, Rainier Maga, and Nico Mulingtapang, the rookie point guard that came all the way from the Mapua Red Robins, who is now suited up for the UE Red Warriors, did a phenomenal job. However, they lost by 7 points against the Our Lady of Fatima University Phoenix. And now let's look at the team standings. As you can see, these two teams that are playing right now still looking to vie for a spot in our play-in tournament. Although Diliman College are already qualified in the play-in tournament, we're still halfway, or we are already crossing the halfway mark in our tournament. So what do you think, Coach, is the better way for them to bounce back coming into a losing skid right now?
Well, when they played OLFU last week, they battled and was able to come back and make it a game. But in the last quarter, they just struggled. Had a difficult time trying to find great shots. Tried to execute in tough situations.
Yes.
They tried to get great shots, but it just wasn't going their way.
Yes.
But there is a bit of their of their character showing out with regard to their ability to keep on persevering and their ability to get back into games. They played against a really good OLFU team that was able to control both the painted area and was able to be productive from the guard. So if they're looking to get have a good game today, their game plan really has to focus on Taporco and Kone in terms of how they defend those two players, and then if they can get stops and get out in transition, that might help a lot of these guys who have struggled to shoot. Galang
Yes.
being one of them. He didn't really start hitting until later in the game. Try to get a guy like him to feel confident early. Get John Abate some good looks, getting him in transition. That could possibly loosen their offense up. And now you just have more players that Diliman has to account for and guard.
So those are the things that we need to watch out for between these two teams,
I
right?
would think so, yeah.
So, okay, I know everyone's very excited. So now we will turn it over to our arena announcer for our player callouts.
What's going on?
basketball continues here inside Amoranto Sports Complex here in the City of Stars, Quezon City. And live on our social media page, Pinoy Liga Cup, and YouTube channel, Pinoy Liga TV, and broadcast over at League Channel 23. Would like to on channel more. This is your Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. Our first game for today's battle is Amoranto Doubleheader. Will feature the UP Red Warriors going up against the Diliman College Blue Dragons. Let's first meet the protagonists. First, for the UP Red Warriors. Starting off with player number 0, Ethan Gunn. Player number 1, Stephen Martinez. Player number 2, Jack Zumon. Player number 3, Clive Small. Player number 7, Juan Nicolino. Player number 8, Gabriel Robles. Player number 11, John Abate. Player number 13, Juan Chico. Player number 15, Prince Alao. Player number 16, Adrian Village. Player number 18, Third Di Malaga. And player number 19, Andrew Pacheco. Player number 22, Tias Mandones. Player number 24, Nicole Nizaga. Player number 30, Diego Uza. Player number 34, Marcos Gonzalez. Player number 50, Marlon Mahilu. And now let's meet the players for the Diliman College Blue Dragons. Starting with player number 2, Ken Latibla. Player number 3, Axel Taporo. Player number 4, Khaled Mbaka. Player number 5, Leonard Miranda. Player number 7, Christian Rios. Player number 10, Kyle Perez. Player number 12, Jamie Batista. Player number 13, Bentley Baite. Player number 16, Luke Santilos. Player number 18, Matthew Calino. Player number 20, J.P. Laliga. Player number 25, Carla Espinosa. Player number 26, Herman Leal. Player number 27, Alvin Libon. And player number 40, J.M. Garces. May we now request everyone to please rise. And for those wearing caps, please put your caps as we sing our Philippine national anthem. Let us now meet the starters. First for the UP Red Warriors. Point guard number 24, Nico Olitama. Shooting guard number 22, Kias Antonis. Center number 13, Juan
And hello ulit mga kaliga. Welcome back to the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. This is our first game in our Wednesday doubleheader live inside the Amoranto Sports Complex here in Quezon City as we see our starting lineup again. Nicolo Muling Tapang, the rookie who came out from the Mapua Red Robins, together with Kian Spandonis, Ron Gigo starting at the center spot, replacing Precious Momoe as he is taking a rest in this ball game. Jack Cruz Dumont, Daryl Robles, and for the Diliman College Blue Dragons, it's going to be Matthew Calilong, Axel Rostaporco, Khalid Mombagna, Renlin Baikin, and then Aldrin Ligon. Once again, my name is Roy Sacore. Together with me is Coach Russell Raipon. So, Coach, these two teams are coming off from a losing skid. For the UE Red Warriors, they're on a 2-game losing skid. They lost to after winning against San Beda, they lost to Perpetual, and after that they lost to Our Lady of Fatima Phoenix. And on the other side, the Diliman College, after winning their first 2 games against Baste and Adamson, they lost to Letran. And after losing to Letran, they lost to the UP Fighting Maroons and losing to the Altas. So these 2 teams are coming off a losing skids.
Yeah, and right now, their job in these first 5 minutes is to really establish themselves, establish a good rhythm, try to get early stops, and see if they can get easy shots. You know, I think one thing to look at today is shot quality. You know, it can Diliman and UE, are they able to get the shots they want within their offense?
Yes, especially for the UE Red Warriors. Their main center guy, Precious Momowe, is taking a rest here in this ball game. So Diliman College already inserted Khalid Mombagna here in the lineups because Roji Go is taking the center spot.
I think when you look at the advantage or disadvantage that UE may have, sometimes, especially with a dominant player like Precious Momoe, a lot of players may just defer and watch and stand while he goes to work. With him not being in the lineup, it may sort of activate, engage all 5 players on the floor to really, try to make this offense work.
And first bucket goes to Diliman College. Blue Dragons care of the 3-point shot for Aldrin Ligon. In their previous game, actually, Aldrin Ligon only scored 3 points. And answering back with a inside the paint basket from the rookie himself, Nico Muling Tapang. I've covered this kid already before. He was playing in Chaong Convention Center in Quezon Province, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He's facing many tenured players here in the Philippines already.
He's been able to show that he's a player that the UE coaching staff is relying on to be a steady force at the point guard position. He's competing with guys like John Abate.
Yes.
Who is also a primary ball handler. So it just goes to show you the value of Pinoy Liga in as much as it allows coaches to really test out lineups and give players an opportunity to earn more playing time when it really counts.
Yes, especially for the UE Red Warriors. They were the ones who hosted the previous UAAP season in season 86. They did not qualify in the Final Four. However, they finished 6th in the elimination round. So their standing was 4-10. So let's see in this new set of lineups for the UE Red Warriors what will happen in the following UAAP season.
Well, when you look at UE, it's almost a team that is unrecognizable compared to the team they had last year that had made a push to make the Final Four in UAP's season 86. So now with all these fresh faces, does that mean a change in style and play? You still have Precious Momoe, who's going to anchor your front court and will be a main offensive and defensive weapon. Now it's up to these remaining players on the perimeter to really establish themselves and give Momoe some help.
As Ron Gigo was able to knock that one inside, as they are now up by just 1 point here against Diliman College. 4-3 is the score with 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And good steal by the UE Red Warriors. That was a good steal by Daryl Robles. And he gets the offensive rebound. And on the other hand, Coach Russell, here the Diliman College, their head coach is Coach Renzi Bahar. He is the previous coach of the Letran Knights in the previous season of the NCAA. Now he is the longtime coach of Diliman College, and Diliman College is actually, they are a 2-time UCAL championship team. An unsportsmanlike foul call already. I believe that's on Jack Cruz Dumont. That's a very early unsportsmanlike foul call here in the first.
You would figure there's a better way to stop a fast break.
Fouling him from behind, right?
or something. At least look like you're going for the ball.
Yes. But our officials are going to review that last play. So they're now going to be looking at if Jack Cruz Dumont is actually aiming for the ball rather than just, getting a foul on a player. So let's see as our officials are looking at the IRS, our instant review system. Way before Coach, you don't have those IRS, right?
I mean, it has revolutionized the game. It has given coaches more decisions to make. If you look at the NBA and you look at
Yes.
teams in college in the States, they have coaches dedicated to monitoring coaches' challenges and making sure that they're used judiciously.
And after the review, just like what you mentioned, Coach, after the review, Jack Cruz Dumont was called for an unsportsmanlike foul call, and he's going to be resting for 3 minutes here in this ball game. So that's going to be 2 free throws for De Limon College plus ball possession.
Well, we sort of talked about this at the beginning of the game. Which team is going to be able to really establish a rhythm and be able to feel loose and confident offensively? Right now, you would say with 3 minutes in, it's a defensive game. Neither team has really established themselves yet, but maybe with this unsportsmanlike foul, free throws, and regaining possession or retaining possession, maybe De Limon may be able to make something happen.
So let's see, as now the De Limon College are now up by 1 point rather. And that's a 3-point attempts. Can't get it to fall for Renlin Baikin. And here comes Nico Muling Tapang, gives it to Galang. And the UE Red Warriors, for those who don't know, Coach, the last UAAP Championship title, as it's a great layup for Ethan Galang, the last UAAP championship that UE had was in season 48, and that was in 1985.
This goes to show you, how much you have to respect the fact that you put in all this work, effort to recruit, to prepare, to get players to buy in. That these championship opportunities can be rare and few and far between. So doesn't mean that we stop fighting. And I think UE is really trying to position themselves, in a steady way to be a consistent competitor for league titles.
Yes, actually, that's why they're recruiting very young talents right now. They're looking for not just for the short-term goal, but in the long run as well. As of course, however, that's a miss right there for JB Parista. And here comes Nico Muling Tapang. Speaking of potential, that's one of the young guards there, Nico Muling Tapang, and then together with him is Rodrigo. So those two players are new recruits for the UE Red Warriors that came up from Mapua Red Robins, who finished first runner-up, or if I'm not mistaken, who did a phenomenal job in the Juniors NCAA last tournament.
Those guys are proven winners. They know how to perform under the lights of big games. So it's a credit to the UE coaching staff that they're able to bring players of this caliber into their program. And as you can see, they are already making a considerable contribution to the team's play.
Yes, and right now, so far I've covered UE Red Warriors before because they're also playing in the Phil Oil preseason cup. They had a last game last Monday against the NU Bulldogs, in which they won actually.
There's a lot of potential, on this team. It's just a matter of consistency. I tell players all the time that if I see you do it once, you can't hide anymore, because I've already seen you do it. At one opportunity. Now you have to develop some consistency and do it. Do the right things. Possession after possession.
Yes, as there was an offensive foul call here on JB Lalica and another offensive foul on the other end, and I believe that's going to be on Kian Spandones. So back-to-back offensive fouls for both teams. Kian Spandones, he was scoreless actually from their previous game. He was 0 for 3. He shot 2 3-pointers but missed, or he attempted 2 3-pointers but missed. So let's see how he can bounce back here in this ball game.
Well, in that game and within this team, they have to find ways to stretch the floor in order for Precious to be able to operate. So Spadunas, Galang, Abate, those guys have to be shot ready when the pass gets to them, and be confident with their with their shot.
Yes.
Right now, as you were looking at UE run their offense, there seems to be a little disjointed, a little bit of confusion and lack of organization in terms of where guys are supposed to be, and that's as the shot clock's running down. So it becomes really important for the guards to make sure the team is organized.
Like what you mentioned, Coach Russell, a turnover by the UE Red Warriors. Right on cue.
Right on. Well, I think God likes me.
And there's a foul called against the UE Red Warriors against Kian Spandonis, and that's his second personal foul already, and we just crossed the halfway mark in the first quarter.
Something to look at as well is the fact that UE is already in the bonus. They already have 5 fouls, and there's still 4 minutes left in this quarter, meaning that Diliman, if they can be aggressive, they'll be shooting. They'll be at the line quite a bit this quarter. Maybe that's another way in order to gain some momentum. Right now, it's like up for grabs. No one has it yet. So,
yes. Meanwhile, here in Diliman College Blue Dragons, at the charity stripe, that's Matthew Calilong. Matthew Calilong only scored 4 points in their previous game against the Perpetual Help System Delta Altas. Let's look at that defense by the Blue Dragons. And Nico misses that one. Rebound. Oh, I love that hustle right there. Battle for possession as shot clock is reset to 14. Here comes Nico. Pulls up, swish.
Gotta love a shot in rhythm, one dribble pull-up, simple basketball, nothing too fancy. But he shot it with confidence. He knew the spot he wanted to get to on the floor and rose up and shot it.
And that is a very young pointer. Again, I know Nico before because I covered him last year. He was playing against pro players like Encho Serrano, Kurt Lujera. Those are PBA players and who are playing in the professional leagues already, and he's going head-to-head with him. Together with his teammates, Kobe Dalisay, and one of the star players in Mapua University, Clint Escamis. However, before that, there's a timeout by UE Red Warriors. Our score, we are tied at 9 with 3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
Welcome back once again, mga kaliga. Welcome back to the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. That timeout break was brought to you by Kickstart Coffee, the premium freshly roasted whole bean and ground coffee available at a supermarket near you and now online. So far, Coach, we are tied at 9 with 3 minutes and 37 seconds remaining. It just shows that these two teams are going head-to-head at the very start of the quarter.
Yes. Diliman doesn't look like they're intimidated by the fact that they're playing against a UAP opponent. Right now, it's clearly a defensive game, whether it's offensive missteps or stops due to pressure. So we'll have to see if anyone is able to assert their will in this game and break it open.
As a missed shot right there for Ethan Galang. And you mentioned the Diliman College Blue Dragons are not afraid facing a UAAP team like UE. They already beat one UAAP team, which is Adamson Soaring Falcons, in that close game that was 45-43, just a 2-point win by the Blue Dragons. But after that, their next UAAP opponent was the UP Fighting Maroons, the first runner-up in the previous UAAP season. So this is their third matchup with a UAAP team. And let's not forget, the Diliman College Blue Dragons, they are a 2-time UCAL championship team. They only, last season, they only bagged the first runner-up in the previous season because they got swept by the CE Scorpions, who won the last season of the UCAL.
You know, when you look at how this team is playing, they are they're playing with the sense that UE hasn't established a guy that is going to control the offense. So they're applying full court pressure, trying to get the ball out of the ball handler's hands, and guys who routinely make decisions, trying to force UE into bad spots offensively, and it's worked. The pressure has made UE think twice about how they're going to run offense, and
Again, Coach, right on cue, just what you mentioned.
I wish I could take credit for that. I can't.
After that, that was a good steal by Ken Lakilba. And then he was able to knock that one in. Or correction, that was Axel Rostaporco, who played tremendous in the previous game. However, Gabe Obusan answers back with a jumper from the elbow.
2 minutes.
So 2 minutes remaining. Both teams, again, still tied. Still anybody's ball game here, Coach.
Oh, absolutely. Again, probably Diliman is better situated with a guy like Toporco because you know that he can get a shot anytime he wants. We'll have to see whether or not guys like Abate or Galang can exert that kind of pressure for UE.
Coach,
going forward.
Apologies for cutting you off. However, Taporco, when you mentioned his name, he knocked down a 3-point shot, and that's going to be a 4-point play if he makes this one. Again, you're always on point in this ball game, Coach. You are now 3 for 3. If we're going to be counting how many times are you correct predicting or saying how the Diliman College or you Red Warriors are playing right now.
Like I said, I wish I could take credit for it.
Well, you're 3 for 3.
I call it like I see it.
Actually, you're calling it before you see it.
Oh, there you
before
go.
we see it.
There you go.
As Galang left wide open from deep, can't get it to fall. Here comes battle for possession there. Obusan tried to pass it inside. Great steal. Fast break opportunity. And that's going to be a wide open shot there for JB Lalika.
Well, you look at Diliman's defense. In the last how many minutes, it's been 2 turnovers, 1 rush shot, and a foul down here, but by and large they have been successful in making UE have to come down on the offensive end and be empty-handed.
And then after that, there was a foul call on Carmel Espinosa as Malanga was able to knock that one, and let's see if he can convert the 3-point opportunity. However, he misses, and I believe there's a lane violation, so Malaga will be shooting 1 more free throw. So right now, the Diliman College are now up by 3 points. And now that trims the lead just by 2.
I think UE has sort of dodged a bullet in the fact that they've been in well, you know what? I'm going to be wrong about this. I was going to say that they dodged a bullet with regards to fouls and being in the bonus, but within a minute, with a minute left in the quarter, they foul. I mean, they had the trap. Probably a foul they'd want to get back.
Yeah. So again, the UE Red Warriors are already in the penalty, so that's why JM Garces is at the line. Will be shooting 2 free throws. As JM Garces, he only scored 6 points. Did not played well in their previous game as he was 28% from the field, 2 out of 7. He missed 5 shots. With 20 minutes of game time, let's see how we're able to bounce back coming into this ball game as he was able to knock down those 2 free throws.
Yeah, you just got to wonder how he got 7 shots off in the first place.
Oh, as Abate was down on the floor, and that's going to be a foul on Diliman College, and the officials are going to review that play. If there's going to be an out-of-basketball play right there against John Abate. Once again, welcome to PINOYLIGA Collegiate Cup. While we're having a review here, just want to thank our sponsor supporting PINOYLIGA, Enderun Colleges, home of the Enderun Titans. Your global career starts here. Smart 5G, feel unstoppable with 5G Smart Power. Ameli Hotel Manila, where you can explore and experience the old world charm of the city of Manila. Aliw 23, kompleto na ang channel mo. And after that one, our officials are saying that's just a regular foul. That's on JB Lalica. And that brings Diliman College to the penalty.
I wish we could say this has been a clean game with regards to, just being able to flow from one play to the next. But this has been like a free throw shooting contest for the first quarter. So,
Actually, that's why this is a very long first quarter.
very long.
So that's going to be 2 free throws here for John Abate. Actually, John Abate in their game against NU, when I covered them during the Phil Oil Preseason Cup, he did a phenomenal job. He's a knockdown shooter, actually.
He is, and I think for John, it's sort of baptism by fire. This is his first year of competition, coming from Florida. I know his youth coach in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
So John has a lot of promise, and he can be a reliable go-to player. It just takes a matter of seasoning and experience, and really picking your spots in terms of how to score and what quality shots look like.
That's a good shot right there for Renly Baikin. And now 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Abate has the ball. John gives it to the left side and drives all the way. Can't get it to fall. And that is the end of the first quarter. Our score 20-16. A 4-point lead by Diliman College ending the first. We'll be back, mga kaliga, right after the break. Welcome back, mga kaliga. Let's look at the previous performance of Diliman College, Coach. Again, they lost just by 2 points for the against the Perpetual Altas.
They are competitive in this league, regardless of whether it's an NCAA or UAP opponent.
Yes.
You look at the numbers here, and the thing that does stand out is the shooting from the three. Making only making like 33% of their 3-point attempts, and then allowing a team to get on a run, a 9-point run or differential in a quarter. That's always going to put you at a disadvantage. So their
Yes.
ability to be able to manage runs, get on runs on their own, it's definitely going to be a winning or a successful formula.
And that's just a 2-point loss. Let's not forget how Rosta Porco scored in that previous game. Again, he scored 17 points. However, he only shot 35%. Imagine he attempted 17 shots in that previous game. He only made 6. So he missed 11 shots.
Right. And that's sort of the burden of scorers, is that you're going to be asked to take a lion's share of the scoring opportunities. You're going to have to be locked in, engaged in order to make those count and to give your team a chance to win.
So let's see how he's going to be adjusting coming into this ball game against the UE Red Warriors. So again, Coach, at the very start of the second quarter, a foul was made already by the Red Warriors, sending Leonard Maranya to the free throw line.
one of the things that becomes really important, especially at this level, is being able to defend without fouling. It's
Yes.
you know, when you're in the pros, it's a little bit different because you have more than one or two players that can be effective on the offensive end. But in college, only the elite teams have a situation where they have multiple guys that can score. So your ability to be able to defend without fouling and keeping yourself on the floor, especially if you're an offensive threat, that becomes a big deal.
Yes, it just shows that they really need disciplined defense here for the UE Red Warriors. As 8 seconds on the shot clock here, as for the UE Red Warriors, they are now trailing just by 6 points. Still anybody's ball game because we still have a lot of basketball action. So let's see how they will bounce back here against the Diliman College Blue Dragons, as that was a miss there by the Red Warriors. Battle for possession here.
A miss in understanding that it was a short clock. He had to get that shot off with like 2 seconds left in the shot clock. So Diliman is doing a good job of making UE have to run offense and still putting them in a position where they're taking tough shots.
Meanwhile, on the other end, a missed shot for Axel Rostaporco. As Abate will drive, he was able to draw that foul. I thought that was a clean block, but our officials had a better angle.
Foul is called for 3 and Rostaporco. That's his first.
That's a foul on Rostaporco, his first personal foul. As Ronji Go will check in once again, he'll be taking the assignment on guarding the big guy of the Blue Dragons in Khalid Mumbagna.
This might be an opportunity for John to get in the rhythm. If he's able to maintain his aggressiveness and draw fouls in the painted area, and then maybe hitting some free throws will loosen up his offense a little bit and get him and his team going.
As Abate was able to have split charity stripes. Here comes Diliman College. Taporco with the floater short. Abate with the rebound. And right now it's getting physical inside as Abate gives it to Ronji. This guy, Ronji Go, he's a big guy who can also shoot from the three. Same as Precious Momoe.
This is the modern game.
Yes.
Where trying to stretch the floor, create space. Especially here in the Philippines, you have a lot of guys that are willing drivers. So the ability to create double gaps and triple gaps, this makes it easier to get good shots. And if you can get outside shooting from your bigs, you're in good shape.
Yes, because you're going to be creating also some free driving lanes for your guards, right?
Right.
And at the same time, that's the new evolution of basketball. Before, when you're playing at the center spot, your coach is going to scream at you if you're going to be shooting threes, right?
Yes. I had a player that I coached in high school by the name of Brooke Lopez.
Oh.
And when Brooke was at San Joaquin Memorial and he was in high school, he was primarily a post player. When he went to Stanford, primarily a post player. He scored 10,000 points in Brooklyn in the post and took less than 10 three-pointers, I think, for his entire career there. But once he got to the Lakers, and now with the Bucks, he is the prototypical shooting five man, the stretch five. Yes. So, I think what really ends up being the key thing here for players is being able to play and have multiple skills. Can a guard post up? Can a big shoot?
Yes, right now, what I've read from a book, it just shows that we are now living in the sprawl ball era moment where everything is spread out, where the centers can go to the right corner, left corner, go to instead going just from the post. So it's, again, basketball is evolving. And you've coached Brooke Lopez before, and right now he's shooting threes, right, in Milwaukee.
That was never part of his game when he was in high school and college, and even his first years in the NBA. But like any good player, if he wants to extend their career, he or she wants to extend their career, they have to evolve. And
yes.
Brooke put in the work to become a not only reliable, but a go-to needed score for his team, a perimeter score for his team. And you got to figure that's added like at least 5 years to his career.
An added threat if you're a player, right?
Yeah.
So here comes Diliman. UE Red Warriors. Look at the defense from the big guy. However, that scoop shot was a miss for Marlon Mahilum. And here comes Diliman College. Axel Rostaporco gives it to Christian Rios. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Axel asking for a screen, uses that Mumbagna screen, and a 4-point play as he was able to knock that one in. And a 4-point opportunity rather for Axel Taporco.
Again, Diliman is showing that they have a player that can score in a short clock. A go-to guy that, like, if nothing else is working in the offense, we're going to throw it to him and see if he can operate. UE, in order to be successful, will have to figure out who that guy is going to be. Is it going to be Cruz Dumont? Is it going to be Galang? Is it going to be Abate? That's going to have to be a priority for them, I think, in order to be prepared for the UAP season coming up in August, September.
As Ronji Go able to miss that 3-point attempt, and look at that drive all the way, and a foul was called again for the UE Red Warriors. And Coach, we're just crossing the halfway mark here in the second quarter, and the UE Red Warriors are already in their 4th team foul.
It's always tough if you're going to be digging holes for yourself and putting your team at a disadvantage. One of the things that I think it's a hallmark of good defense is what I call floor balance, meaning in transition, if you're on offense, you miss a shot, are you able to get back in defensive transition? That way the floor is balanced where it's going to become a 5-on-5 defensive stop. But UE has struggled with being able to get back in transition off of their missed shots, and it's proving to be a disadvantage for them at this point.
Yeah, so far Diliman College are doing a phenomenal job driving to the bucket here and on transition actually. As Nico will pull up, that's his favorite spot, can't get it. And a block by the big guy for Khalid Mumbagna. And finally, turning garbage into gold for Marcus Gonzalez.
Given the fact that Diliman has a big that is doing a great job of patrolling the paint, UE will have to find different ways in order to make the defense move and chase the ball to get the big out of the painted area. Right now, they're just standing around, and it's just proving to be an advantage for Diliman on the defensive end.
However, that was a miss shot after that steal by Renly Baikin, and our officials blew their whistle. And that's going to be a blocking foul on Renly Baikin. So that's the second team foul here for the Diliman College. However, UE Red Warriors are already in the penalty. And we just crossed the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. So it just shows UE are giving a lot of fouls against Diliman College. So every foul after this, or in this second quarter, Diliman College are going to be shooting 2 free throws.
You know, it's interesting to point that out, just given the fact that Diliman is the one that's being more aggressive defensively. They're guarding in the full court in their press and have committed. It's been a clean game for them as opposed to UE that there's always looked like they're behind the play.
Let's look at that offensive rebound, passes it inside, and that's an easy bucket for Khalid Mumbagna.
Second chance opportunity there.
And a foul was called, I believe, on Christian Rios. Wow. So Jack Cruz Dumont will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Jack Cruz Dumont in their previous game only scored 6 points with 15 minutes of basketball action. Oh. And there's a warning on the head coach of the UE Red Warriors for Coach Jack Santiago for resentment to a call. And talking about Coach Jack Santiago, he is the head coach for the UE Red Warriors way back in 2022. This is just his second year coming
Yes.
into this season. He played for Mapua before with PBA superstar Alvin Patrimonio, the captain.
Okay.
And then he played in the PBA with Sunkist Orange Juicers and Santa Lucia Realtors. And he was a 2001 PBA champion in the Governor's Cup. So that's the head coach right now, coaching the UE Red Warriors.
Well, you know, he's obviously experienced success at a high level here in the Philippines, and he's proven that he can put together a team that can compete at a high level. Now it's just a matter of building upon that foundation, and he really has to, you know, he's going to have to work hard along with the staff to build this current group of players up so they can continue their upward trajectory in the UAP.
Yes, and at the same time, however, there was that was a traveling. I thought there's going to be some extracurricular activities there, but our officials calls for travel. And the one sitting alongside Coach Jack Santiago is PBA player legend Don Aliado, who is a power forward who played for De La Salle Green Archers before when he won back-to-back UAAP champions, and also a former UAAP MVP and Finals MVP way back in 1998 when I was 1 year old.
1998, you were 1 year old. Yeah, like, now you're making me feel really old.
No, I thought you were just 22, Coach.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind.
I'm just kidding. Oh, and we have an injured player right now for the UE Red Warriors. I believe that's Nico Molingtapang, as he is being assisted by his teammate going back to the bench.
On the drive, he looked like he landed awkwardly and he was sort of off balance. We hope that he's okay.
Yes.
You know, he is the one guy that can maneuver and operate and drive this offense. So we're hoping for the best. Hopefully he'll be able to make a return.
Yes, hopefully. Again, here in Pinoy Liga, one of our main priorities are the safety of our players. So our medics are actually checking in on Nico Molingtapang. So checking in for Nico Molingtapang is Clevis Fong, or Clebs Fong rather. But regardless, back to the ball game as Kalilong short on that layup. Battle for possession. Here comes Fong, setting it up.
When you look at the difference in terms of defensive transition, Diliman was able to get a layup. Even though they missed, they got all the way to the rim before being guarded. You look at Diliman guarding in transition, UE had to pull the ball back out, and it was a 5-on-5 possession. So, I mean, that really does jumpstart your defense if you're able to, to not give your opponent an advantage in numbers.
Yep. As there was an offensive foul on Matthew Kalilong as he extended his left arm and it hits the face of one of the UE Red Warriors. So that's an out-of-basketball play right there. But I believe that's not intentional. So that our official didn't call for an unsportsmanlike foul. So clearly an offensive foul.
Well, sometimes those things happen. Basketball
Yes.
it is a collision. No, I'm sorry, take that back. It's a contact sport.
Yes. And that's what we call bricks of the game, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And here comes Ron G. Go, gives it to Jack. Jack looking, Robles, nice pass inside strip, but there was a foul call by the officials.
That was actually a really nice offensive action,
Yep.
which moved the ball side to side, and the quick cutting and the quick dive to the basket gets rewarded with free throws. So I mean that is a way to counteract all that pressure and having a big in the middle of the floor. So let's hope that UE will continue with that formula to get back in this game.
As Ronji Go is at line shooting 2 free throws. Ronji played 11 minutes in their previous game. He was scoreless actually all throughout the game. That was against the Our Lady of Fatima University Phoenix. As he was able to knock the first one in. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 here and trim the lead to just 11 if he makes this one. However, a miss again.
You jinxed him, I think.
Yeah, I think those are what we call the commentator's curse.
Yeah, there you go.
However, you're 3 for 4 compared to me, Coach. As Jack grabs the rebound. Fong, nice extra pass inside. However, only hits the backboard. As we are down to the last 2 minutes here in the first half. Ethan.
I'm not sure if he knows how much time's left.
Oh, that's a sneaky layup. However, he misses that time for Ethan. But ball stays with the Red Warriors, but another miss for UE. And that's an easy bucket right there for Aldrin Ligon.
Coach Jack does not look very pleased. I can understand his frustration. His team is having a hard time finding some rhythm and trying to establish anything good in this first half.
Yes, because those are what, 4 or 5 possessions that the UE Red Warriors missed, and those are wide open shots actually.
Yeah.
Well, 3 of them.
Right.
And there's going to be a substitution here, as Leonard Maranya will be checking in for Diliman College. He'll be subbing in for Christian Rios. So 2 free throws here for Jack Cruz Dumont.
But either way you slice it, this is really a good defensive game on both teams' part. I mean, to be scoring less than 40 and a half, that's great for UE. Even better for Diliman that they're able to hold UE to basically 11 points per quarter. So that's definitely going to be a recipe for success if you're able to do that, to any opponent you play.
Yes, at Diliman College, again, they already faced 2 UAAP teams. The first one was Adamson Soaring Falcons. And then the second one after that is the first runner-up champions, first runner-up in the previous UAAP season, the UP Fighting Maroons. Although they lost a huge margin against UP, right now they're matched up against the UE Red Warriors. Again, the host one of the previous UAAP season, who finished 6th actually in the previous UAAP season. As 2 free throws once again here for Diliman.
For me, that really speaks to the fact that there's good basketball being played outside of the UAP and the NCAA. You can find good players, you can find good teams, good coaches, all over the country. So that, that speaks to just the richness of the game. There's multiple ways to play, multiple ways to win, and that's why Pinoy League is great, because you get to see a variety of styles and players and coaches, in one setting.
Yes, because again, we are showcasing the hidden gems here in the Philippines, especially in the Metro, because there are a lot of talented players. Like, for example, later on, we will be seeing the Ateneo Blue Eagles, where they recruited again Jared Bahay. However, we need to see if he's going to be able to play in their game. However, timeout here called for the UE Red Warriors, as they are now trailing by 15 points.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
Welcome back, mga kaliga. Now, Coach, let's talk about the previous performance of the UE Red Warriors when they lost to Fatima.
As you can see in the numbers, that first quarter, was the ability for Our Lady of Fatima to set the pace of the game right from the jump.
Yes.
And UE had to fight from a deficit the entire game. They were able to get back into the game in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't get over the hump. And again, you're looking at a situation where UE is putting multiple guys in the game, trying to figure out who can perform under game situations. As you can see here in this first half, Alau, who played considerably in that game last week, hasn't seen the floor yet. So, and that could be for a lot of different reasons, but
yes. And in their previous game, Precious Momoe scored 8 points. He only shot 30% from the field, missing 7 shots. And however, he got 11 rebounds as there was an illegal dribbling violation. And he got 5 blocks. The entire UE Red Warriors all throughout the game got 5 blocks, all from Precious Momoe.
Well, definitely a difference maker on both sides of the floor for UE. You would have to figure that had he been active for this game, the complexion of the game would be different.
Yes.
But again, this is an opportunity for other players to assert themselves and to to make a case for playing time.
Let's look at a pick and roll right there to Khalid Mombagna. So UE had no option but to just give him 2 free throws rather than giving him an easy bucket inside the rim, or inside the paint rather.
That has been a struggle all game to this point for UE, is keeping the ball out of the painted area. Definitely when the ball gets there, it causes rotations, it causes the defense to have to react and scramble, and UE just hasn't shown the ability today at least to manage the dribble penetration. So it accounts for this lead right now that we're seeing as we end the first half.
As Mombagna misses those 2 freebies, and there was a foul call. I believe that's against Aldrin Ligon. So that's going to be 2 free throws for UE Red Warriors. And this is the perfect time for UE to trim down the lead while the clock is not ticking.
They've been struggling to find ways to score. They've been struggling to force Diliman to have to guard them in space and foul them. So a lot of that has to do with the fact that there have been a lot of live ball turnovers resulting in easy buckets. UE will have to regroup at the halftime and really come up with a game plan that's going to get them back in this game.
Now the question is if Nico will be playing in the second half. Let's look at that. Jack Cruz Dumont was able to clean that one in 3 seconds remaining. And that is the end of the first half. A dominating game so far for Diliman College as they are up by double digits coming into the third quarter. So mga kaliga, we'll have a quick halftime break. We'll be back after these messages.
Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $999. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond, only with Smart Postpaid.
Here's a warm hello from Eastern Communications. We're here to present a refreshing point of view that when it comes to delivering business communication solutions, it's time to bring back the human connection because it's just as important as the technology. Eastern Communications is business made personal. It means getting intimate with our clients' needs so we can provide thoughtful solutions to help them achieve their goals. That's why we are madaling kausap, may malasakit. We are maalam at maaasahan. We are Eastern Communications.
By the Blazers. Don Lim. Getting blocked by Don Lim. Solid defense by Don Lim.
Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $9.99. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond, only with Smart Postpaid.
Here's a warm hello from Eastern Communications. We're here to present a refreshing point of view that when it comes to delivering business communication solutions, it's time to bring back the human connection because it's just as important as the technology. Eastern Communications is business made personal. It means getting intimate with our clients' needs so we can provide thoughtful solutions to help them achieve their goals. That's why we are madaling kausap, may malasakit. We are maalam at maaasahan. We are Eastern Communications.
Welcome back mga kaliga to the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. My name is Roy Sacote. Together with me is Coach Russell Raipon. So far here in this ball game, 13-point lead for Diliman College coming into the third.
They have found a way to create rhythm for themselves and momentum. The defense has been the key for them. They've been able to create live ball turnovers and get out in transition and get easy buckets.
And so far, let's see if what adjustments did Coach Jack Santiago and the entire UE Red Warriors talked about over the halftime huddle coming into the third. So let's see if what adjustment are they going to be doing. So far, we are seeing a man-to-man defense here for UE Red Warriors in the first miss.
That was
in the second half.
That was a very solid defensive stand there, forcing shots that were a little bit out of rhythm for Diliman. And able to get a rebound. And
after that one, that was a good defense for Jack Cruz Dumont as he was able to force a turnover for Rosta Porco. He was the one who guarded that first shot here in the third quarter, Jack Cruz Dumont, and he was the one who guarded the second shot and forcing a travel against Axel.
Well, defense has definitely started on a high note for UE as we start this third quarter. And then they're able to get a good shot in rhythm for Kian.
So Kian Spandon is able to knock that one in. And now just a 10-point lead for Diliman College as Taporco setting up a horns play. Garces with the shot, nice pass, and a slam dunk for Khalid Mombagna.
Again, paint touches, being able to dribble into the painted area. This creates havoc for the defense. So Diliman's able to take advantage by finding the big on a roll for a dunk.
And we are going to be seeing a lot of those slam dunks from Khalid Mombagna here in Pinoy Liga, especially when they go back and play for UCAL, as a foul was called. I believe that's going to be on Ron G. Go. Again, Ron G. Go. Oh, no. That is not on Ron G. Go. Apologies. That's on Aldrin Ligon. Oh, that is going to be on Ron G. Go. I got confused there, Coach.
Yes.
Because the action is very fast right now between these two teams here in the second half.
Well, I like the rhythm and pace of this third quarter that has started. I mean, it seems like both teams are awake now, and there is better communication defensively on the end of UE, and definitely they're in the lane, they're pressuring, and trying to create things to happen so they can get open shots just like that.
Yes, that was a good quality shot for Kian Spandones as Ronji was able to draw a foul. So far, UE Red Warriors, that's the third consecutive place right there that they were able to get quality shots. But lucky break for Diliman College, they weren't shooting those wide open shots. Oh, and there's a warning on Aldrin Ligon for resentment to a call. And there's a substitution here as Ronji Go will go to the charity stripe to shoot two.
I'm a big believer in what is the term? You attract more. Anyways, I lost my train of thought, but I really feel like the best approach to referees and the coaches is having a conversation. Sometimes
Yes.
you're not going to agree with the call, but that's okay. You're not supposed to agree with all the calls, but you know, it just never puts you in a good position as a player or a coach if you're going to get into an adversarial relationship or exchange with a referee. You're never going to win those.
Yes, because again, the referees are the ones calling the shots.
Hey,
But technically.
in as much as a coach controls my playing time as a
Yes.
player, the ref also controls my playing time, especially if he's calling fouls on me. So one of the things that becomes important, especially for players and teams, is to be able to adjust accordingly to how the game's being officiated.
Yes. That's what we call, you need to control the flow of the game,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So here comes UE, still trailing by 11 points here in this ball game as Jack Cruz Dumont. Look at that switching right there for Diliman College, not giving any wide open shots. Just like that, a block and a steal and a counter steal for Ethan. That was a great series of defense there given or displayed by the Blue Dragons.
Well, you look at Diliman, they just look like they're more active defensively. They have looked like that the entire game. They're contesting every shot. They are in the right place, in the proper place, team defensive wise, and it's resulted in this 11-point lead.
And right now, UE still looking for an answer against the Diliman College offense. As Taporco gives it, that's a mismatch, easy. Bucket but a miss. And finally, turning garbage into gold for Khalid Mumbagna. Khalid, so far, he is dominating the paint here in the second half.
One of the things to look at is right now, it doesn't look like Diliman, other than Taporco, has shot well from the perimeter. If that's the case, maybe UE needs to consider a change in defensive strategy, because right now all of the buckets have been in the interior, off of dives from ball screens. Maybe being able to load the box, chuck defenders, and make the ball handler have to spit the ball to their perimeter.
And just like that, another miss for UE as John Abate loses the ball, gives it to Ronji. Another wide open shot, Kian. And another wide open miss for Kian Spandonis as Ronji Go was called for a foul.
And you can see Precious on the sideline itching to get in, wishing he had a uniform, and imploring his team to get back in this game and make plays. You gotta love that. You gotta love seeing teammates cheering each other on.
Yes, it just shows the chemistry for UE Red Warriors.
Definitely.
And I'm looking at Nicolo Muling Tapang as well. He's still sitting at the backside of their bench, nursing his foot. So I'm not sure if he'll be able to get back here in this ballgame, as John Abate was able to knock that one in.
Yeah, I think probably err on the side of caution and make sure he's completely healthy before you put him back in. It's an opportunity for guys like John Abate and Kian Spadunas to really assert themselves offensively, and as well as Cruz Dumont.
However, there was an offensive foul on Khalid right there. That's his first personal foul for Khalid Mumbagna, and he's doing a phenomenal job defending the paint here for Diliman College for Khalid, and that's just his first personal foul in the entire ball game, and we already crossed 25 minutes of action in the entire ball game.
He's done a great job of staying vertical. He's done a great job of contesting shots at the height of the release. He's been playing smart, solid defensive basketball.
So far, UE Red Warriors still down by double digits here. And for those who don't know, UE Red Warriors actually, even though their last season, as Christian Reyes was able to knock that one in, as the last championship of the UE Red Warriors was in 1985. But for those who don't know, UE holds the longest senior basketball championship, as Jack Cruz Dumont was able to sink that one in. They hold the longest senior basketball championship run with 7 straight UAAP titles. They hold the longest final streak appearances with 16 straight finals appearances in the UAAP from 1957 to 1972.
So there is a history and a tradition of excellence at UE.
Yes.
And you just have to figure with all the changes in coaching and changes in
the coaching staff and
focus of the
yes.
focus of the program and all those kinds of things. Now UE is maybe positioned to build a foundation of consistent competitiveness for UAP championships.
And we can see, because they are now having some very young stars for UE Red Warriors, as there's a timeout break, because this is now just an 8-point lead for Diliman College. Or no, just still a 12-point lead for Diliman College, and we have a timeout break for UE Red Warriors. We'll be back, mga Kaliga, after the break.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
Welcome back mga kaliga. This is our halftime report. During the first half between these two teams, the Blue Dragons are doing a great job so far. However, if you look at the three-point department, UE shot 13 shots from the three-point area. However, they weren't able to knock at least even one.
It's, you know, when you look at the rhythm of the game and the type of threes that UE was getting, it often looked like in that first half they were shooting rushed shots or shooting shots on a short clock with not a lot of confidence.
Oh, and hold on, our referee signaled technical foul, and are they going to be giving it to the assistant coach, Don Aliado of the UE Red Warriors? Let's see as our officials discussing it to our game announcer. Oh.
Disrespectfully addressing an official.
Oh, so that's going to be a technical foul on the assistant coach of the UE Red Warriors, Don Aliado, for disrespecting an official, according to our game announcer. So that's going to be one free throw for Diliman. As we can see, Coach Don Aliado not happy with that call.
Sometimes we have to take a deep breath, take a moment.
So far, it's getting emotional now here for both teams. But it just shows that Coach Don Aliado, again, he is the PBA legend. And right now, in the coaching staff for the UE Red Warriors. Oh, what a move by Ethan. However, he misses that shot. Here comes Diliman. Gives it, but too strong on that pass.
But again, you're looking at a situation in transition. If that pass had gone through, if it was able to connect, they would have been behind the play on another layup attempt. UE definitely has to look at their transition defense for future games to see if they can correct, you know, their strategy for getting back on makes, misses, and turnovers.
So far, Jack Cruz Dumont missing that perimeter jumper, as Diliman still up by double digits here. Look at the switching right there for UE Red Warriors. And another switch. However, that's a good quality shot, but misses. Here comes UE Galang taking his time. Gives it to Jack. Jack using that Ronji Go screen. Gives it to John. Another quality look, and finally sweet string music for John Abate from downtown.
Now, given that offensive possession, can they get a stop here on this end? Are they going to allow, is UE going to allow another paint touch? You have to figure they're going to get into another action that's going to involve a ball screen just like that.
Oh, and a traveling, so ball will go to UE once again. This time, UE playing without Precious Momoe and without Nico Mulingtapang. But so far, it has been Jack Cruz Dumont and John Abate, Ethan Galang, Kian Spandones taking over for the Red Warriors together with Ron Gigo.
This looks a little bit similar to the lineups that have been the most stable for UE. I believe that Coach Jack in the first half was maybe playing with some lineup rotations and combinations, but these players on the floor right now have proven in the other games that I've seen to be the most reliable in terms of being able to get some ball movement, player movement, and being effective on both ends of the floor.
Oh. But regardless, back to the ball game with 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining here in the third. As what a great move by Jack, passes it to Roger. Another wide open shot for John Abate. This time he couldn't get it to fall. Ball goes back to DC. Look at that display of handles, but great defensive stop for Gabe Obusan, and a foul was called on Christian Rios. Right now, UE Red Warriors, I can feel the energy changed at the start of the third quarter.
When I had the opportunity, the privilege of coaching in the NBTC Manila Live final, under 19 final, Abusan was playing for the Phil Canadian team. He is a guy that has a kind of athletic ability and motor that can be lethal on defense. So Coach Jack has inserted him in the lineup, and automatically he's able to force a turnover on the ball handler. So let's see if Abusan can continue that kind of defensive pressure and defending without fouling to hopefully get his team even closer in terms of catching Diliman.
Yes, and just like we mentioned before the game, Coach Russ, I'm the one who covered that game in NBTC wildcard round. However, there was an offensive foul against one of the players of Diliman College.
And guess who's in the middle of that? Abusan.
Yes. No, that's on Renly Baikin. And yes, Obusan was there in the middle. And right now, the momentum has shifted. It's just a 6-point lead for Diliman College. So UE wants to talk it over with 33 seconds remaining, 47-41. Wait now. Welcome back mga kaliga to your Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. And so far, Coach, this is our updated standing. Again, Diliman College are already qualified for the play-in tournament. Meanwhile, the UE Red Warriors still vying for a spot for our play-in tournament.
It's anybody's spot to fill at this point. You know, when it comes to the play-in tournament, UE, if they're able to continue this momentum and get back into this game and win it, they're right in the running to claim a spot. So these games become really important, not only for building your preparation for UAP or for your upcoming league, but also, you know, you want to come into these situations not only wanting to learn from them, but be successful, you know, win games, build momentum, and build confidence within your program.
And UE Red Warriors, again, they are vying for a spot in the play-in tournament, but still, we already crossed the halfway mark in our eliminations game. I'm getting tongue twisted there. It just shows that anything can still happen, even though, well, except for UP. UP are already qualified in our quarterfinals for the twice-a-week advantage, but the next team under UP is Letran Knights. Letran Knights are not yet comfortable in the, can still be replaced in the entire eliminations round if some of the teams from the play-in tournament will have a great run all throughout the remaining games that they have.
Well, you know, they've only played 4 games.
Yes.
So there's a lot, you know, they have a lot of games left to play in the bracket in eliminations. So it'll be up to the other teams in the bracket to make a case for being top 2, and there's plenty of candidates within the bracket, within the play-in numbers 3 through 6 that can claim that number 2 spot.
Yes, again, you're right. That's just the 4th game of Letran Knights. They still have 4 more games after that after for them. However, that's a good breakaway layup for Ethan Galang, trimming the lead to just 3 points coming into the fourth and final quarter. What a run by UE here in the third.
They've done a great job. They've stayed composed. They've gone back to defending without fouling. They're finding a rhythm, and let's see how that carries itself into the
fourth and final quarter.
In the fourth and final quarter,
yes,
yeah.
So, mga Kaliga, we'll be back after the break.
Go beyond with Smart, the country's fastest and best mobile network. With unlimited 5G data for 12 months. Unlimited text and calls for both mobile and landline. And unlimited Netflix mobile on us. All with Smart Postpaid's powerful SIM-only plan starting at $999. Get it on eSIM online, anytime, anywhere. Switch now and keep your number. Get the power to go beyond. Only with Smart Postpaid.
But welcome back mga Kaliga to the PINOYLIGA Collegiate Cup Season 3. This is our fourth and final quarter in this competition between the UE Red Warriors versus the Liman College Blue Dragons. So far, UE Red Warriors did a phenomenal job here in the third, just cutting the lead from 12 points at the start. Now just 3 points coming into the fourth.
This is reminiscent of their game last week versus
Yes,
OLFU.
actually.
So let's see if they've learned some lessons from that game in terms of being able to manage the energy and the engagement and focus so that they're able to not only shrink this lead, but actually take the lead by continuing to play solid defense, getting live ball turnovers, and getting good shots because of ball movement and player movement.
Yes, as this is the start of the fourth and final quarter, brought to you by Happy Cow, Eastern Communication, and Smart 5G, as Jack Cruz Dumont tying this game with a three-point shot here at the start of the fourth.
Very nice offensive execution, and they got Dumont at the top of the key in rhythm with the pass to shoot. That's good basketball.
Again, without Nico Mulingtapang, without Precious Momaway, the UE Red Warriors are on a roll right now. And a miss, however. Oh, ball goes to UE. I thought that's going to be a rebound for Khalid.
Right. But the basketball gods are rewarding UE for really playing good basketball this entire third quarter.
Yeah, the basketball god gave their blessing on that possession. However, finally, after missing that three from the left corner, John Abate was able to knock that one in from the perimeter. And almost a steal by UE. Wow. You can feel the energy changing right now in favor of UE, coach. And look at the hustle of John Abate against Khalid Mumbagna.
They are playing a scrappy brand of basketball. They are getting their hands in the passing lane. They're deflecting the basketball on passes. They're putting a lot of pressure on the offense to make solid decisions like that.
Right on cue again, coach. You're now 4 for 5. But UE Red Warriors are now leading for the first time here in this ball game. As John Abate will take it over, gives it to Jack. He's been hot, but after getting great quality shots, he misses that time, and that's going to be a foul according to our officials for Gabe Obusan.
So if we're talking about storylines in the game, we've seen UE handle adversity. They didn't handle it well in the first half, but they have handled it definitely better in the second half. So they've regained a measure of composure about how they play. So now, really, Diliman is facing their first sense of adversity. How will they respond? Will they be able to, use their advantage, which has been the pick and roll, the ball screen action? Can they get back to that so they can get good shots at the rim?
And I'm actually very curious right now because the shift was in the third quarter for UE, favoring UE. I don't know. I need to know what Coach Jack Santiago as look at that shot for Axel Rostaporco from downtown.
They may need to mark Taporco and make sure they know where he is on the floor at all times. That guy can shoot lights out.
Yes, especially Taporco did a phenomenal job in their previous game as Ethan Galang was able to answer back with a three-pointer of his own. And there's an offensive foul on Axel Rostaporco.
Man, Abusan did that to us all night when we played Phil Can. So I think Coach Jack has found something with inserting Abusan into the lineup. He's giving him like the kind of glue guy type plays that winning plays that all teams need in order to win games.
And so far, that guy, Jack Cruz Dumont, took over together with John Abate, and there's going to be a foul. Clearly a foul from behind. I believe that's going to be on Malaga.
You know, the tough part is Abate was in good defending position, but he guarded the ball way too late. You know, usually in transition defense, you want the point of contact, the point of defensive pickup to be, you know, outside the three-point line, but to decide to pick up the guy or the offensive player in the paint is just going to spell trouble for the defense.
As first free throw for Renly Baikin sinks in. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 here. If he makes this shot, it's going to be a tied ball game at 52, and he does. So now Coach Jack Santiago mixing and matching his players as Jack Cruz Dumont will have a well-deserved rest. He played a great third quarter, and actually he's playing terrifically, phenomenal here in this in the fourth quarter as well. But I think Coach Jack Santiago will need his production at the very late of this ball game, or at the latter part of this ball game rather.
Right, and you're looking at Kian Spadunas, who can get hot, is streaky from the three-point line. Will they be able to find him for shots in their offense?
Yes, Spadonis actually is getting quality shots at the first half. Oh, what a crossover and a high arcing shot. Can't get it to fall. He was bothered by Khalid Mombagna's length that time. And Garces taking point here. Looking.
There's the ball screen into a pin down.
8 seconds on the shot clock here for Diliman as Axel, that's his shot. Hits the left iron as perfect spot at the perfect time for Khalid Mombagna.
Tell players all the time you can't get buried in screens. You either have to go under or over, but knowing Taporco, you can go under on him in a ball screen action because he's going to stop behind the screener and shoot. You're going to have to make him a driver, and right now they haven't been able to do that.
And what a sneaky reverse layup for Gabe Obusan. Again, who played in Phil Can last NBTC, or what we call the National Basketball Training Center. Shout out to Coach Eric Altamirano, who did a phenomenal job in the previous NBTC, Coach.
It was, NBTC, Manila Live. It was a great event. I know as a coach and as a parent and as a fan, to be able to see all these different Filipinos from different parts of the world come back home and play and experience experience playing in the Philippines. I think it's even if we're not looking at finding the next Jalen Green or Kai Soto or 30 Ravenna, you're giving these kids an experience that they'll remember for a lifetime. So I know that I was very privileged to be able to participate as a coach and as a parent, and look forward to hopefully another opportunity next year. And you can see the result of NBTC in this game right now. Abusan played in that, so did Spadunas. It has produced a lot of solid collegiate players.
Yes, and it just shows that there are so many talented Filipino players outside of the Philippines who are playing in different countries already at a very young age. However, you mentioned his name being a spot-up shooter. Kian Spandones was able to knock that three-point in, and that increases, or now they take the lead by 1 for UE.
This has now become a possession game, Raul. So now it really becomes a matter of offensive execution, shot quality, and whether or not you can get stops and make the opposing team make some tough choices.
Oh, that's a good pick and roll there, but good recovery defense for Khaled as Ron Go was able to miss that shot. Axel, he is the leading scorer right now here for Diliman College, doing a phenomenal job shooting the ball. And most of the time, he is actually demanding the ball.
I like the fact that Toporco has not forced any bad shots. He's had the ball in his hands a majority of the time, but he hasn't taken shots that are either wild or contested. He stayed within himself, and that's why his team is maintained or has had this lead for majority of the game.
And right now, the guy on the other end, Jack Cruz Dumont, gives it to Robles. Thought about it. Kian. Oh, great defense by Diliman College for Renly Baikin, as that's a quality look. But a miss for Daryl Robles. So
it sort of looks like UE's gas, that they're sort of running on fumes. They're chasing the ball at this point.
Oh.
And hence the three-pointer.
Yes, and UE calls a timeout as Diliman College was able to increase the lead to 4 with 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. We'll be back, mga kaliga, after the break. Welcome back, mga kaliga. This is our game schedule for tomorrow in Enderun Colleges. We have a quadruple header Thursday morning up until today afternoon. It's gonna be MCU versus LPU, Letran versus the Altas, CSB versus FEU, and for our main event, it's NU Bulldogs versus Mapua Cardinals. So far again, we have 4 games for tomorrow. Wow, we have so many games right now because we already crossed the halfway mark here in our eliminations in our Season 3 of our Collegiate Cup.
You know, if you're a college basketball fan, you just got to love the fact that, you know, every other day, or let me take that back, like 3 out of the 4 days of the, or 3 out of the 7 days of the week, you're having, you know, you can sit in front of a TV screen or you know, iPad or whatever, and you can watch some really good basketball, really good college basketball. So looking forward to tomorrow's games.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube and like and follow our Facebook account, PINOYLIGA Cup, for more updates. And stay tuned because our games are actually free to watch on YouTube unless you're subscribed to them monthly. But especially this is free on Facebook.
Yes. And who doesn't want to watch basketball for free?
Yes.
And it's good basketball.
Yes, quality basketball is again Jack Cruz Dumont. He is the guy who is giving spark here for UE here in the fort. So it has been a Cruz Dumont and Toporco kind of battle here between these two teams, between those two players. Oh, and a slip. 2 players are down on the floor right now, but Jack Cruz Dumont guarding Garces. Garces gives it, and that's a mismatch, but good strip by Gabe Obusan.
He's been a difference maker, I think, for this UE team.
Yes.
He's provided them a spark on the defensive end.
Quality minutes here for Gabe Obusan. As Kian Spandones gives it to Jack. Jack, double team. Kian, that's a wide open three. Battle for possession there. Wide open, Ron G, go! Nothing but the net for Ron G, go.
There's been a little bit of an offensive explosion in the second half, which has been nice to see.
And now a tied ball game at 61.
You have to wonder when Coach Renzi is going to reinsert Taporco in the lineup. He's probably going to need him for this last 2-minute stretch.
Yes. As we have a foul, I believe that's on Aldrin Ligon. And that's just the second team foul for the Blue Dragons. Meanwhile, on the other end, UE Red Warriors are already in the penalty.
That definitely plays in the favor of Diliman College.
Yes.
If they can be aggressive, especially on those ball screen actions, forcing UE to have to make a defensive decision, they can possibly pull away in this game.
As Kian Spandones was able to knock that perimeter jumper in, a timeout was called for Coach Renzi Bahar, and as he wants to talk it over, with 1 minute and 49 seconds remaining here in this ball game, we'll be back, mga kaliga, right after this.
Get 8 gigabytes of all-access power.
To do it all.
Plus only TikTok to scroll and share non-stop. Power, work, life, and more. With Smart Power all-access data now up to 90 days. Load now.
Welcome back, mga kaliga, to the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. So far, as you can see on your screen, Coach Jack Santiago and the entire UE Red Warriors talking over on how they will defend against Diliman College, as they are now enjoying a 2-point lead here in this ball game. As we can see our game schedules for today. Again, this is our first game for our Wednesday doubleheader, UE Red Warriors against Diliman College. But the next game will be the Guangming College versus the Ateneo Blue Eagles for our 4 p.m. game here in Amoranto Sports Complex. So we still have one more great game after this one, Coach Russ.
Always fun to watch Ateneo play. Their coaching staff does such a great job with their players in terms of developing, player development in terms of style of play, attention to detail. So I'm looking forward to seeing these guys go at it. Right now, in the game we have, UE will have to really be cognizant of the fact that they can't foul while
Yes.
they're defending. And on the other hand, Diliman can be super aggressive on defense because they have 2 fouls to give. So we'll have to
Yes.
see how this plays out. Taporco is back in the game, so look for him to get the ball eventually in this possession and maybe get into a ball screen action.
Just like what you said, Coach, just want to remind our mga Kaliga fans that UE is already in penalty. However, you've mentioned his name already, Coach. This guy right here, Gabe Obusan, defensively is doing a phenomenal job for UE. Jack Cruz Dumont offensively for UE. Defensively, it has been a Gabe Obusan show for UE.
The ability to be able to guard a smaller player on
Yes.
in the full court and get his hands in the cookie jar without fouling, very impressive. He has been a nightmare for the Blue Dragon guards.
Yes, again, Gabe Obusan. Me, oh my, that kid right here. Dribbling the ball right now is Gabe Obusan. As Gabe loses the ball, that's going to be a turnover.
This is going to be a
Taporco.
nice matchup, Taporco versus
Yes.
Obusan.
One of the best offensive players for Diliman, guarded by the best defensive player of UE, as a Taporco misses that wide open 3. That's his shot, actually. 55 seconds remaining here in this ball game. UE up by 2. Ron G gives it to Jack. Jack, as Ethan will shoot a three. Ethan Galam from downtown as UE increases the lead to 5 points with 43.7 seconds remaining. And we have a timeout break for Coach Renzi Bahar once again. We'll be back, mga kaliga, after the break. Welcome back, mga kaliga, to the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. So as you can see on our screen again, this is our schedule for tomorrow. First game, MCU versus LPU, Letran versus Altas after that one, and CSB will replace Ateneo de Manila against FEU Tamaraos. And then for the main event for tomorrow's game, it's gonna be the Mapua Cardinals versus the NU Bulldogs. So 4 games for tomorrow. Once again, you can watch live in Enderan Colleges, or you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Now back to the ball game with 43.7 seconds remaining. Parista will inbound, gives it to Matthew. Kalilong looking. And a quick drive with the lefty layup there for Renly Baikin as they trim down the lead to just 3. And now a full court pressure here, coach, for Diliman. UE. Oh, almost a steal. And last touch by Jack Cruz Dumont. So ball goes back to Diliman College. And they have the opportunity now to try to tie the lead with a 3. Or just decrease the lead by 1. And I believe there's going to be a review on that last play. So, coach, what a sequence right there. For the... Oh, after that was a quick review.
You know, when we talked earlier, we talked about the fact that this game is eerily similar to the last game that UE played, where they were able to claw back into the game only to fall short. It looks like UE has learned some lessons from that game and has applied it to their approach as they finish this fourth quarter, resulting in this 3-point lead. There was a misstep here with the turnover, but you just have to hope that UE will be able to be solid again on defense, get a stop, and then finish the ball game out.
Now let's see, with 18 seconds on the shot clock here for Diliman. They have a lot of time here. Oh, that's a rushed shot. Can't get it to fall. Look at that battle for possession, as that's going to be a jump ball. And possession arrow is pointing towards Diliman College. So Diliman College still will still get the possession. So right now, coach, 20 seconds remaining here in this ball game. A 3-point lead for UE. Let's see what Coach Renzi Bahar and the entire Diliman College has in store. And that's going to be 14 seconds on the shot clock here.
They can run this clock down.
So 6 seconds shot clock, game clock differential. Will we have an OT here? Diliman gives it to their scorer, Taporco. Taporco will shoot a 3. Misses. And now Diliman needs to foul, but they still have one more foul remaining before they go to the penalty. So third personal foul on Matthew Kalilong. Wow. That was a quality shot actually for Axel Rostaporco, but he missed that time.
Sometimes you live and die on those long perimeter jumpers.
Right now, 8.7 seconds. Diliman needs to foul or steal. And that's going to be a foul call now. That sends them to penalty. So 2 free throws there for Kian Spandones. And that's a smart play for UE, giving the ball to Kian Spandones because they know Diliman is going to foul him. And Kian Spandones, he's a knockdown shooter for UE.
It's always important as a coaching staff to make sure you have the right rotations in the game, the right players in the game, and know how you're going to approach a situation when you're up and you need someone to be on the line.
Yes. However, the pressure is on. I just mentioned that he is a knockdown shooter, but Kian Spandones.
I think the curse of the
commentator's curse again.
Yes, rears its ugly head.
But let's see. If he's able to knock this one in, it will be a 2-possession ball game. And 6.4 seconds is a lot of time for Diliman. However, this is going to be a tough game for Diliman College. This is a 2-possession ball game with 6.4 as UE with a full court defense. Quick 3. Oh, and a block shot for Ethan Galang. 2 seconds remaining here in this ball game.
This has been an entertaining game, well, especially the second half.
Especially what a great comeback for UE here.
Definitely.
And that is the end of the ball game. What a game that we just had. UE wins the game against Diliman College, and they break, finally for the UE Red Warriors, they break their 2-game losing skid after losing 2 games to the Altas and the Phoenix, and now they win the game against the Blue Dragons by just 4 points. Meanwhile, on the other end, Diliman College, that's their 4th game losing skid in the entire tournament, as they are now 2-4 in this competition. That is our final score, 67-63, a 4-point win by the UE Red Warriors with the absence of Precious Momoway and Nicolo Muling Tapang. And now,
definitely. Solid win by UE.
And now we will have our school hymns for both teams. may... Try ko lang parang naglono. Try ko lang.
Our Ambox player of the game finishing with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the UE Red Warriors wins the game, and our player of the game is no other than Jack Cruz Dumont with 18.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Let's turn it over to our courtside reporter, CJ Ang, for the Antbox player of the game.
Thank you, Rowie. Mga kaliga, kasama ko ngayon ang ating Antbox Best Player of the Game, Jack Cruz Dumont of the UE Red Warriors. Jack, your squad was down big in the first half, but you crawled your way back in the second half. What did Coach Jack tell you in the halftime break that got your squad going in the second half?
Basically, we all need to step up, and it's about toughness. The other team was just playing harder than us in the first half. Don't listen to them, they're goofs. The other team was playing tougher than us in the first half, so we just had to play hard on defense, get rebounds, and guys need to step up. You know, we didn't have our import playing Wello, and we didn't have our import Precious, and one of our top players Wello playing, so everyone needed to step up.
Jack, being the captain and the leader of the squad, how big are your advices to your teammates, especially your incoming rookies, also played a big part in this win?
Yeah, we had a lot of guys, especially young guys, step up. I just tell them to be confident and be tough. You know, we put the work in. Now is early time in the season, and it's you know, time to grow as a team.
Jack, is there someone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to my family, my mom and my brother Cole back home, and Sean Cash.
Thank you so much, Jack, and congratulations. Back to you, Rowie.
Once again, that is CJ Ang, our best player of the game. Jack Cruz Dumont, the team captain of the UE Red Warriors. But stay tuned, mga kaliga, because we still have one more game remaining. It's going to be the Guangming College versus the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Once again, my name is Rowie Sacote, and together with me is Coach Russell Raipon. This is the Pinoy Liga Collegiate Cup Season 3. We'll see you guys in our next game. Peace!